And there we are.
All right, I'm going to start talking as usual, okay?
Yes, this is the Burn Barrel Podcast.
So this is my thing, Alice. We've got a controversy. Alice?
Yes.
You've got a controversy. You know, of course, that my mole tipped me off. Wow.
Your mole tipped you off?
Yeah, this is interesting.
What mole? Where?
This is interesting. You know the girl, Eva, whatever,
yes.
She's got 150 letters in her last name, all consonants?
Eva Vlar
Yeah,
on Twitter.
who I am, we can say more than somewhat dating, right?
Yeah, honey.
Denmark. Listen to this.
She's going on Tucker tonight, I heard.
Well, that's what our mole Toast found for me, that she's going on Tucker. Toast lateraled me that information, which I, of course, retweeted. The tweet was deleted by author now. And now I can't even find her Twitter page.
Did she mean to DM you, possibly?
Eva Vladimir?
No. Toast.
No, Toast's tweet is still there.
Oh.
Eva's is gone.
Wait, so is she canceled off Tucker?
I mean, she might be canceled off Twitter.
Eva, isn't it Eva VLA? Yeah, I still see her on Twitter.
Okay, well, she's that tweet.
She deleted her tweet that she's going on Tucker tonight.
What is the deal with that?
Yeah, her last tweet is 20 hours ago, so I don't know. Maybe she's not going to be on Tucker tonight.
Why would Tucker not have her on? Or unless she was, Oh, by the way, Callahan said that, by the way, but it's just interesting. Why wouldn't she be on talking about the Italian new prime minister, who's Mussolini, by the way, if you haven't heard. The Italian prime minister is Mussolini.
Yeah, we're back to fascism in Italy.
Why wouldn't Tucker have her on? There's nobody more pleasing to the eye than Eva Vladimir, and she's good. I mean, she kind of has an attitude and all that stuff. So, like, I don't see... Wait a second.
Wait a second, what now?
You know, I told you I was gonna have Alana Mastrangelo
on? Yes, you mentioned it.
Do you know her?
I don't think so.
She's Breitbart. She's written for Town Hall. She's very pretty. She's Italian. And she actually wrote about the prime minister. And she had that audio of all the network people saying the prime minister is a fascist.
Mm-hmm.
She tweeted that out. I sent the tweet to us. That is
been
gone.
Deleted.
Yeah.
In the comments, somebody's pointing out there's more Italian hate here. I see at least 2 people that I know are Italian in the chat right now. So are we going to talk about your Italian problem?
I have... well, first of all, what's happening here on Twitter that all this stuff that's surrounding...
the Italian prime minister...
is being erased? What is going on?
I don't know. It's very odd. And the way the media has acted about this prime minister is very odd when she seems totally fine. And I don't know. I'm happy for Italy. I think it seems cool. I hope France is next. And I think it's great. I don't know that much about like Italian politics and stuff, but the way the media acts about it, like, what am I supposed to think? But yeah, so we decided, honey, that we need to have an intervention.
Well, hold on. Before we do that, what is going on? What are people trying to do to this lady? Why have these people's innocuous tweets been taken down?
Do you think they're going through and removing tweets about her
Maybe
because
they
it's
are.
like fascism?
I think
because she's literally a Nazi?
I wonder if that's possible. I wonder if that is possible.
Because, like, Trump's not allowed on Twitter, and he's a quote-unquote fascist also, right? So, and remember, even, like, do you remember after he first got banned for Twitter, and then from Twitter, and then he did his CPAC speech, and that was like his first big speech since being banned off everything, and like YouTube wouldn't even carry it, and like we couldn't put snippets of it on our YouTube channel, and it was like a whole thing that you like couldn't play anything back of Trump and his CPAC speech because it wasn't allowed. Like, is that possibly what's happening here, that they're trying to like memory hole her?
But that still wouldn't explain the Eva,
like
thing.
Erasing tweets about her.
Yeah, this is very interesting. So, okay, so you want to talk about my problem, my Italian problem?
Yes, you're Italian, probably.
I love Italians. I love Italy, which I've been to. And
You've engaged some very dangerous stereotypes.
no, I have not. What stereotypes? They're good at cooking. They're good looking. They're good at art. They're
About the way they dress.
Oh yeah, no, my brother dressed like an Italian kid from Medford in the 1990. Oh no, sorry, 1987 and 8, and it was wholly offensive how he looked. Yeah, we once had an Italian kid from Medford actually. Then
I think we need to deconstruct some of these deep-seated beliefs that you have, and I think we should schedule a dinner with our Italian friends, just like the racism dinners.
oh, like a beer summit.
Kind of like a beer summit, but
Oh, the
more
Italians
like the ones.
don't drink beer, do they? Moretti.
So anyway, but you can have you can have a dinner like the ones that those women do, where they have all the white women and yell at you. We'll have all our Italian friends come over and yell at you about your Italian racism.
They could too. There was a racist incident starring me and an Italian kid from Winchester, actually, where I used, this was back when I was in high school, and I used, I believe, his slur. I really did. And he...
so I think we need to probably unpack some of this.
I was just kidding. And
unpack.
And he actually decided to come after me and destroy me. And he had a reputation for being, I don't know what I was thinking.
You'll never know what it's like to be an Italian in this country.
No, this kid
and what they've faced.
This kid who I was... who I said the slur to, he was very prototypical. He thought he was the best looking kid in the world. He had a very flashy car.
Do you think part of your problem with Jared Carrabis has to do with your Italian stereotype?
Is Carrabis Italian?
I'm pretty sure the name Carrabis sounds Italian.
I don't know
that
that's true. Maybe
Google it right now. Where's the name Carrabis from?
Don't you have Google?
Well, I already Googled it, and it's Italian. But
Carrabis is Italian? I love Italian.
Yeah, it's from the region of Naples, actually.
No, Carrabis just looks like a thug. It's not that he looks Italian. No.
And he's from Saugus.
Yeah, well, yeah. I mean, Saugus went for Trump, Alice. So did...
I know.
So did the other Italian place.
I know, and after all that, you're still stereotyping them?
I love Italians. I love the food. I love the people. I talked glowingly about Italians today on WTIC.
Well, I think reparations are going to be in order.
Well, the Italians don't need reparations. They're the best.
I think you should hire some Italians for several $1,000s to yell at you over dinner.
I have hired Italians on a temporary basis to prepare me food. Does that count? I've always wanted an Italian girlfriend. I could never get one because they're meant to be very manly, and I had to find some Serbian chick who.
See, we're already making progress on your deep mental issues surrounding Italian people.
You got the wrong guy. I did say some terrible things to my brother's Italian girlfriend once, but that was those things I said were classist because she was from Somerville and I was from Winchester, and I was trying to tell her that she was trashy. Now, the reason I was trying to do that. Listen to me. And by the way, we've become friends. We're friendly on Facebook. The reason I was trying to do that is that I didn't like her treatment of my brother, so I decided to try I was not a good person. Anyway, so anyway, but she's forgiven me. But no, I've never had an Italian girlfriend. I used to want, one was shopped to me one time by a friend at the front desk.
Fetishizing.
What do you mean fetishizing?
Typical.
Because they have gorgeous dark hair and they're lovely and they're Italians, Alice, are an improved model of human being over the Northern European wasp. My people, the Shaddocks, Alice, this ain't it. This is the Shattuck is Gaelic for skin cancer, Alice. This is not. It's not what you want to be. Okay, I love Italians. I love the food. I eat tripe like me and only Italians do. But I am happy to have an Italian conference with my friend. With my you know where this happened?
I think you need to do the work.
Do you want to hear something about where this incident happened, the high school racial incident, which I condemn, by the way? Condemn?
Okay.
Where I called the superior person a slur. It was at my enemy's house, my Winchester enemy's house. Me and my brother only had one enemy, and for some reason they were adversarial. It was at the nephew of SNL's Saturday Night Live's Jane Curtin. Her nephew. And then later on, like I think he tossed me out of his house or something. Only person we ever had a problem with. One person just didn't get along. The curtains and the shaddocks. See, there's a good wasp fight for you, right there, Alice. Right there. I've also seen Italians go after each other too. There's supposedly there's a thing saying that they now try to needle each other or something. I don't know. I love Italians. I will always love them. I love the new prime minister. I celebrate Italians. I will put the work in.
Mm-hmm.
I think they're great. Is there anything else you wanted to do else, or have we beat this thing enough?
That's it.
I was going to play I was going to play all the sound of the prime minister talking about fascists, but it's like it's gone. All the stuff regarding her is gone. All I can tell you is this: that everything I've seen her say today is great. Now I understand that people are saying she's part of some party that, in 1936 was a different party and was more nationalistic. Well, she seems to be a nationalist. She seems to want to preserve the culture of Italy and not cede everything over to globalists and the European Union. And I can see her point.
Yeah, what's the European Union done that's so great?
Cause food shortages?
They're terrible. Allowed Putin to invade Ukraine, become completely non-energy independent. Like, I mean, and like I say, it's very hard when you're not in a country and in a culture unless you really do a lot of work to really understand other countries' politics. But, yeah, I mean, nothing has freaked me out that I've seen her say so far or do so far. I mean, it seems totally innocuous to me, but what do I know? There could be tons of stuff I don't know, but I guess we'll find out if Tucker's really going to have Eva on tonight or not. Maybe we'll see.
Is Tucker is even going to be there? By the way, hold on 1 second. Hold on, I'm gonna reply to something.
No.
Okay, so no, I'm gonna do some explaining because I've been called out on Twitter by T. Malarkey. Tony from Maine. Are you familiar with him?
I don't know Tony from Maine. I'm sorry, Tony.
Okay. I tweeted out a picture last night of Jerry Callahan and Kirk Minahan on Kirk's show, and it includes part of our bar. And there are wipes in the bar, and this has become a controversy. Will you explain why you need baby wipes when viewing KMS? A couple of people asked me about those wipes, and got a screenshot of it. The reason we have baby wipes is because we have one remaining tiny small child who, in the midst of our baby wipe shipment and diaper shipment, has now essentially been potty trained.
Right.
So we have the surplus wipes, but...
So, because I'm bad at turning off my Amazon auto shipments, so...
Right. But I enjoy these wipes. Mm-hmm. I use them every day during my show a couple of times, and I find them to be quite refreshing. And I like them. And I would suggest if you don't know about it, then you should do it too. It's nice.
Baby wipes are very nice, actually.
Right behind the ears. It's nice. I don't trust people who wouldn't accept. My brother won't accept one. He comes over. I'm like, "Do you want a baby wipe?" He's like, "No, I don't." It's like, why?
They're not used. They're clean.
But yeah, get baby wipes. They're wonderful. They're wonderful.
No, and they're good even like for kids' hands because kids eat and their hands get disgusting. And like, you can. It's like the wet wipes that you get at like a wings place or when they serve you ribs. It's like you have little hand cleaning wipes to do during the meal until you're like completely done and you can fully wash your hands or whatever. It's just they're actually really nice to have around. I was thinking about that because I was like, oh, maybe if we run out, I'll turn the auto shipment back on. But yeah, baby wipes are pretty useful and good. So I don't have a big problem if you want to use baby wipes.
Yeah.
Is there like some other implication to that? Like, do men use baby wipes for something else?
Oh, I don't think so. Is he suggesting I'm...
Maybe. To KMS.
Yeah.
We're going to go soon. I know.
Oh, yeah.
It doesn't take long to get there. Takes like 10 minutes.
Where are you going?
Newburyport City Hall.
Oh, that does take like 20 minutes.
20?
I thought it was 20.
Oh, I didn't know it was there. Yeah. Well, maybe.
15?
Maybe 15.
Okay. We'll jump off at 6:15 then. Sorry it's not very long, listeners, but...
Well, maybe I'll keep recording.
Well, you'll have to turn it off over here too,
Oh, I don't know about that.
But we can try. I can leave it on and you can figure it out. All you have to do is hit stop streaming and stop recording.
Yeah, I used to do that. I used to work that thing, I think.
Hopefully you can figure it out. Anyway, yeah, I wondered if maybe that was the implication of why you might need baby wipes while watching Jerry and Kirk.
Yeah, I don't think that is a thing, as a matter of
Okay.
fact. But maybe no. Why would men have baby wipes? So
Well, there's like other types of wipes, right?
no, let's not get it.
Okay. I'm just wondering.
One, you seem to know nothing about it. Two, it's guttural.
I
And-
don't know anything about it.
Okay. Squawk Box today on CNBC talked about the student debt forgiveness.
It's been a brutal couple of weeks for the market, obviously. Awful inflation numbers, now the likelihood of a hard landing, maybe even a global recession, according to some. The student loan forgiveness, in the middle of all this, adding hundreds of billions, even $1 trillion to the demand side. Doesn't that make the Fed's job even more difficult? Your allies, Larry Summers, Jason Furman, both warn that that's a problem. The president, once again, bowing to the far left. Does that justify, increasing demand and making things worse right at this time, Jared? I know you know. It's no way you can sell this to me with a straight face.
Wait a second. Let me try the following, because this is a fact that is not reflected in the rap you just gave me. And if you ask Jason and Larry about this, I think they'll agree. You should try and find out for yourself.
Okay.
The thing you left out was restart. That is, restarting student loan payments, which of course have been in forbearance since the pandemic began. That begins in January. And if you actually look at the numbers month by month, the amount of restart, even with debt forgiveness, basically offsets.
That works for the White House, remember. So.
That's the amount of forgiveness. So in that sense, it's a bit of taking a log off the fire and putting an equal-sized log on it. So if you look at the inflation implications, we've modeled this, we've looked at the numbers carefully, and again, I haven't seen those who understand this part of the plan disagree with this point. We think that the impact on inflation will be neutral because restart offsets forgiveness.
Restart. Can you imagine the
Right.
audacity to say that?
It's
Restart. So, well, then why don't you restart now? Well, how come you kept putting that off, too? That's amazing to say that that's a net positive. No, we've been bedraggling ourselves here in putting off student loan payments for 2 years.
Yeah, it's a really big problem, and it's dumping $400 billion into the economy, which is insanity. It's totally nuts with where we are in this inflation crisis and all. The same thing like the Inflation Reduction Act that all the economists agree will increase inflation. The same thing with that. They just keep doing things that make the problem worse. And it's so insane that they're in the middle of this inflation crisis and we all know what's causing it. And the economists keep saying it and they keep literally throwing more fuel on the fire. They're absolutely just trying to crash the economy at this point. Like, I can't believe that's not what they're trying to do. I don't understand what else would explain their actions. Because it's totally nuts. And I mean, like, we have before this midterm elections, we have another, like, month's worth of inflation numbers is going to come out. And, like, I just can't imagine how they think it's going to be good news. They must be so incompetent and insane. Like, the way this month, they planned a party, an Inflation Reduction Act party for the day the inflation numbers came out. Like, how could they not know? How could nobody let them know before the numbers came out that it wasn't going to be good news? It's just such gross incompetence and honestly just malignant behavior by the White House.
Oh, yeah, totally
Like,
is.
just chasing cheap short-term political gain with the stupid student loan stuff or whatever. And now there's all this drama over the budget. They could have a government shutdown, too. Have you seen that they're hurtling towards that? Because remember when
they can do a continuing resolution, right?
They don't have enough people to do a continuing resolution because get this, you remember the whole thing with Manchin where he made the deal with Schumer?
About the energy deal for him.
Yeah.
Yep.
So the deal was they were going to tie this like energy permitting stuff, make it easier for a bunch of these energy projects, including pipelines that he's into, to get done, like clear out some of the red tape for the permitting for those projects. They were going to tie that to the continuing resolution to fund the government. Well, now a bunch of Democrats don't want to vote for it with his thing attached to it.
Wait a second.
Yes.
Wait, but that's part of the Inflation Reduction Act. That already passed, didn't it?
No. The deal was he would vote for the Inflation Reduction Act and they would do this permitting thing for him and that they would tie it to the continuing resolution so that it would pass, but a bunch of people don't want it. and want to renege on the deal that Schumer made.
Oh.
So they're in a fight now. Like,
well, that could be interesting. I wonder is he up this year? Manchin?
I don't think so. I think he's...
That could be interesting.
Let me see. Yeah, so it's really like a delicate situation because they can pick up some Republicans for the continuing resolution thing and but if they lose enough people in the House, they have such a tiny thing in the House, and the Republicans obviously would love to see the Democrats shut down the government while
What's
they're...
the timeline on that? Is that before the election or after?
Before.
Interesting.
Yeah, so the whole thing's a mess, and yeah, a bunch of Democrats don't want his energy permitting thing to go. So... it's gonna
that is delicious, I gotta say.
It's gonna be interesting to see what happens now. Yeah, here's Politico. Shutdown clock ticking louder. Government funding dries up on Friday, so it's officially crunch time for a stopgap spending bill on Capitol Hill. The Senate is set to vote tomorrow on a procedural move for a shell that could be filled with short-term government funding bill. This will be a test if there is enough support from 60 senators for a bill that is at this point still being pieced together. Blah, blah, blah. At least $12 billion in support for Ukraine. Of course, that's very important, obviously. A deal reached last week on reauthorization of the FDA's user fee programs, funding for the water crisis in Jackson, Mississippi. The known unknown of the week is Senator Joe Manchin's permitting reform proposal. There's opposition on both sides of the aisle, from Republicans to progressive Democrats, because a bunch of Republicans are pissed at him for lying to them and making this deal also. So they're not going to do him any favors by coming across to vote for him, even though they might kind of like it.
Lovely.
So it's a whole mess. There's opposition on both sides of the aisle, from Republicans to progressive Democrats, but Manchin isn't giving up. He pleaded his case in a Wall Street Journal op-ed over the weekend, paired with phone calls to colleagues.
Is it pleaded or pled?
It says pleaded in Politico. I don't know.
Is pled PLED? Or
yes.
There is a word pled?
Yes.
Okay.
So the House Select Committee investigating the January 6th insurrection, blah, blah, blah. So that's all that stuff. But yeah, so it's a little bit of a delicate situation, and Manchin's hoping to get everybody on board. He's a pretty talented politician, but yeah.
Well, yeah, but I mean, why is he whipping people? It's somebody else should be doing that.
Because it's his permitting proposal.
Somebody else should be doing that.
I don't know. Because it's possible the Democrats could slice his thing off it, too, and pass it without it. They're not bound to anything,
More Italian hate, literally, LOL. Vino, right? Was Paul Italian? Who's Paul?
I'm not sure. Who's Paul?
Paul? Who's Paul? When you say in the notes. We enjoyed we mentioned the pens yesterday, Julie and Phil. Thank you very much for that. We love them.
Yes, they're very funny.
Was Paul Italian? How come I can't comment? Well, I guess I can speak to people right now. Who's Paul? We did have an Italian friend. My brother's best friend is Paul, who's Italian in Winchester, as a matter of fact. He used to relentlessly beam me in dodgeball, bombardment, fishes. Great arm. Paul Garissi, his name is. Great arm.
Yeah, he was last elected in 2018, so he's not up till 2024. Yeah. So, yeah. There's a lot of problems. And so to not be able to fund the government when the president with his pen apparently is allowed to wipe out $400 billion in debt is not a great look going into the election, I would say.
How very interesting. I really do enjoy this disarray. And I know that the world's over and whatever. It doesn't really matter. I mean, we now have officially, I don't want to say something that's going to stress you out, but we do live in a house now where it rains in the kitchen, So that's fine. That's fine. Things have gone a little bit differently than the original proposal. We have a beautiful balcony with tiny little pebbles, which is now a greenhouse.
So I'll tell you guys what the roof... We had 2 roof people come and look at our roof, and one of them was perplexed and said, I have no idea where the water's coming from. Mm-hmm. The roof doesn't look bad enough to need to be replaced.
Yes.
And
then the
next guy
put holes in the roof.
No, he said we could replace it and you could still be getting water because you can't tell where it's coming from, and it could be like from your siding or somewhere higher up, like you just don't know, like a window casing that's bad or whatever. Anyway, so then the next roof guy came and said $13,000,
right,
and we'll definitely fix it 100%.
Right. To which we
said replace about 500 square feet of roof, which seems nuts to me. Right. So we said, thank you very much.
But
have
since
a wonderful day.
There seems to be more leaks now. subsequently. Or maybe that was just the kind of rain we were having. Or
Maybe,
whatever.
yeah. It's hard to say.
Who the
I don't
frig
know.
knows?
So-
Is there any part of this house that has stood the test of time since 2018, since we bought it?
No, not really.
Yeah.
Yeah. So Dave brings up in the chat that Kirsten Sinema dated Keith Olbermann.
I was
so
just
that
reading that
was big
tweet.
on Twitter today.
Well, he also dated Katie Tur, she's actually legit cute. That's a good get by Olbs.
I thought you liked Sinema.
I like her because she's a little crazy, and I like her because she stuck to her guns even though they chased her into the bathroom.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think it's great that anybody's dating Keith Olbermann. I don't see where you're. I mean, he was big King Dingaling on MSNBC for a while, but he was always a psychotic my feeling is he's way too close to his own mother.
Imagine how crazy him lashing out on Twitter now about it, though.
I don't know.
Him saying, did you see what he said about her?
No.
When we dated in 2010 and 11, Kirsten was a legit progressive, far to my left. Now she has embraced the political industry, TM, where there is only process, not policy, and never people. Perfect solution. She can be the next host of Meet the Press. Is that like an insult in Keith Olbermann land?
I guess so. I don't know. Maybe
I guess she'd be perfect for Meet the Press.
Is that a shot at Psaki too?
I guess so.
Since she was over there this week, she
was criticizing Biden too, right?
I forgot what she was doing. She wasn't bad. Her analysis she actually kind of brought a little something, which I was surprised. But she, because what's her name? The woman who's usually with Chris Christie and, oh come on, apparatchik Donna. Damn it, Chris Christie.
Ronna McDaniel?
No, the Democrat woman.
Democrat with Chris Christie?
Yeah, it's usually Chris Christie and her going at each other, or with George Stephanopoulos.
Oh, I don't know. I don't really watch those.
This is disappointing. Donna. I can't remember. Anyway, but there are some people who just simply go in flack for the administration for Democrats, and it's like, what are you doing? That's a waste. Get in here and bring something. Bring something. But there are Republicans who do that too, but it's neither.
Yeah. But Kirsten Sinema is interesting to me because I was wrong about her. Like, I definitely thought when it was her versus Martha McSally, like, I thought she was going to be a super progressive because that's kind of what her history was like. She was like this LGBT anti-war activist in a tutu and like all this stuff, and it really seemed like she was going to be
Isn't she bisexual?
Yeah. Like it seemed like she was going to be this like radical progressive, didn't it, at the time? And that's like what all the rhetoric was. And she won so narrowly, and she was promising to be a moderate and all this stuff. And like, I thought she was going to really be like a big progressive, but it turns out she actually meant it when she said she was going to, legislate like a moderate and work across the aisle and do all this stuff. And like, it's weird. It's not something that often happens in politics where people say they're going to be a certain way and then they actually are. So who knew?
Interesting. You see the Turtle Boy tweet where he talks about the Martha's Vineyard residents saying that the hurricane hitting Florida is karma?
Yeah. They're really good people, though. That's very important to know that they're nice people because they think it's good that other people are getting hit by a hurricane.
It's going to be a serious hurricane. Sounds like there's going to be like 10 feet of like saturation. Like, holy goodness.
Yeah, this could be a bad one.
Yeah, right near Tampa. They are fun. Hurricanes are fun. We can admit that. But it's not fun when your house is submerged. There's no doubt about that.
Yeah, somebody was saying...
There's one thing, Alice.
What?
There's one thing.
Our house could be submerged?
It would take a significant flood to hit us because we're on a hill here.
Yes, that's true.
Significant. So there was a time in the 30s that the Merrimack River actually went up a few hundred feet. Craziness.
We would have still been okay?
We'd be okay. So there you go. Although, actually, if the flood destroyed the house, would we get money?
No, because flood insurance is separate from regular insurance.
Oh, so we don't
might have. I don't think we do. I don't know if we do. I don't remember.
What ways do we have to get money that aren't organic, not by working? I know I've begged before, and listeners have given money that way. We are in the T-shirt business, in the Patreon business, in the locals business.
Yes, and
so our nickel and diming operation is robust.
But no, we have insurance. We have
get
insurance.
A piece of every T-shirt that's sold.
We have insurance on the house and insurance on each other.
Okay. So if the house explodes with you in it, what do I get?
You get the replacement cost of the house, including like furniture and stuff.
Awesome.
And you get $500,000 for me.
It's kind of tough, Alice. Unhealthy thoughts, Alice. I know.
Yeah, but they can't find out that you did it on purpose.
Okay, so I can't just load the house with C4.
Yes, that's frowned upon.
Okay, all right. Good to know. Good to know. Should we do the chat, or should we? Would you want us to talk more issues? I'm fine with either one. It's kind of a slow news day, to be honest.
Let's pop to the chat, and then I'll take our daughter to her callback.
How come you're taking her? How come I'm not taking her?
Because I like to go.
All right, fine.
Man, after listening to that podcast and the follow-up Patreon show, I feel like I should apply for that job.
What job?
What a
The job at
beating.
the astrology place.
Oh, yes. Sorry about that. Yeah. I forgot to read that on the air today.
I should
Donna
apply
Brazil, says Ryan. In the
Right,
chat.
that job.
Donna Brazil. Right. Well said, Ryan.
job.
Donna Brazil, by the way, who I think is who may be the prettiest woman on the earth. Now, I realize that she's got a few pounds on her and this and that, but what I mean is, like, she is, like, look at her face. Her face is just so, like, every feature on her face is perfect. You may not go there with me, but that's, anyway, I stand by it.
What a beating. Just amazing. Ballot request forms for dead people. Men kissing Tom, no surprise. Saint Polygirl outfits for Alice.
Oh, that is happening.
And Frozen Alice through half of the show. By the way, I like Frozen Alice. She's fun, but moving Alice is much better. And if you're going to freeze Alice, freeze her with a beautiful smile on her face, Tom.
Yeah.
And colds behind the eye.
Yes.
Maybe it's a tumor.
It's possible. Possible. I have assumed. Oh, that means you get the $500K.
Yeah.
Hi, Tom.
Hey, Phil.
Phil from Attleboro here.
Hey. And hey,
I'd like
Phil.
to leave you with a compliment and a criticism.
All right.
First, a compliment. Great job with the weight loss.
Thank you.
I'm also working on losing some major poundage.
Oh, good. Good
You
for
have
you.
to be really mentally ready to do this.
Yeah.
Kudos to you.
Thank you, Phil. You see, Alice?
Good
Not
job.
Everything's negative in life.
Now the criticism.
Yes.
Why do you continually refer to yourself as fat?
I am.
I find this extremely offensive.
Really?
Could you please start referring to yourself as possibly portly, beef?
I thought about that because Rush used to say that he was pleasantly portly, but I'm not portly because I think that means small and fat.
It's been reclaimed by the fat activists.
Oh, it has?
They've embraced the word fat.
Although, you know what?
So they don't like obese because they feel that it medicalizes something that's not actually a medical
It is not a
problem
medical
at all.
problem. Correct.
That it's great and
Correct.
that they've
my
reclaimed
doctor
fat.
it was broke into tears when I walked in for my appointment last week. He doesn't like all this weight loss. Actually, you know what's
Medical fat phobia.
and also Portly, Alice. We live next to Newburyport, right?
Beefy,
Beefy,
ample,
husky.
husky.
Oh, husky. That brings back bad memories from when I had to buy husky pants at the Sears at the Burlington Mall in 1984, and my mother was like ashamed of my brother and I. That was a bad memory. I can't say husky.
Burly.
I'm not burly. I'm not tough guy fat. I'm wretched fat.
Your printouts at Awaken 180 say you're solidly built.
Yeah, I like that. I like that.
Stout.
I'm not stout.
Rotund.
I guess I am rotund.
Or even full-bodied. I would feel much
Those are all beers, too.
more comfortable with this. However, if you continue to use the term fat, then you might as well go all in and declare yourself to be a fat bastard until you achieve your goal.
You know
I
what?
truly hope this helps. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Phil. You know what? I am a fat bastard. He's right. Well said, Phil, and I appreciate it, and thank you for the counsel.
So I was watching this movie, and it had Paul Hogan in it called Almost an Angel. I don't know if you've seen it, Tom. Clearly, Alice hasn't seen it. She doesn't watch a lot of movies.
Yeah.
She's a bookworm. I understand this.
They call them
But
nerds.
anyway, it had Larry Miller in it also.
Love
and
Larry Miller.
Elias Kotis, who was Casey Jones in TMNT, the original 90s movie. And then it also had David Alan Grier.
Oh, love him.
What a cast.
Yeah.
Even Paul Hogan's ex-wife from Crocodile
Linda
Dundee was
Kozlowski or something.
what a scene with her in that Crocodile Dundee movie with the bathing suit. Anyway,
yes. One of the
just
original.
let me know if you've seen it or not. And
I have not seen it. I've only seen Paul Hogan in those 2 movies and the ads he used to do for Foster's beer. You gonna go?
Do you want me to pop it and you just turn this off? Just hit stop streaming and stop recording.
Stop streaming and stop recording. Okay, I'm gonna keep going. Yeah, in Linda Kozlowski. Yeah, that was one of the first thong shots, Alice. Speaking of your St. Pauli girl outfit. Oh, you need the key. Here. Yeah. Oh, that was very important. That scene in Beverly Hills Cop in Crocodile Dundee. Highly important. Yes, correct.
oh, Tom, when's you gonna get a call from Barstool HQ?
I know. I don't know. I did, like 10 years ago, I messaged Portnoy to be a guest on a radio show that I was working for, and he did get back to me. But that Facebook account that he had back then is now gone, and I have no Portnoy contact. I don't know. I know people who know Portnoy, but yeah, I'm very pro Barstool, very pro Portnoy, and I can drink beer and hang out with fellas. Although I am in a weight loss thing, and actually that might hurt my chances because there are a lot of fat bastards at Barstool.
Got to figure out what you're good at here. Let's see here. Trying to think of a show that they do with you. Waiting for my call too. All right, bye.
Well, to be serious, well, not to be serious, but the angle would probably be if we could bring the Burn Barrel to Barstool. The angle would have to be something around gaming, and the gaming is legal in Massachusetts. Other than that, I don't think they have any straight up shows that are as political as us. But there are shows that have who are family oriented, like Content Kim and their daughter. I don't know. I've never seen it, but I know that there are some odd things. I don't think it's going to happen, but we can dream. I would probably make enough to get my kitchen roof fixed. I see the name of this message. I'm not hearing the song as yet. It says "Heroes," Linda Marks cover. That is a deep, early Kirk Minahan show reference.
Heroes. We need heroes who lift ourselves up. Show us what's possible. Heroes. Offer us hope.
For any of you listening who aren't familiar with the Linda Marks song on the Kirk Minahan show, this means nothing to you. I am familiar though, so I'm kind of enjoying it.
Make us weather. Make us inspire us.
This is what we call a half-assed version of this, but I still enjoy it.
Heroes.
Heroes. Nothing but heroes?
What do we get them? Heroes are people.
Big Poppy to some.
How do we show them care? Why do we shoot our heroes?
Oh, that's great.
Why do we gun them down?
This is an all-time
Does
low.
their light shine too dark in the darkness?
I believe there are drugs and alcohol involved in a portion of the listenership of this show, and I'm fine with it, as a matter of fact. Let me go back here, see if you guys are still watching. This is so cool. Alice is gone. Like Newburyportly. I love that. I'm in Pinella's Ground Zero? What does that mean, Dave? The gang's Winchester. I'm in Pinella's? What's Pinella's Ground Zero? Let me know what that means. Newburyportly. I like that very much. I'm in Pinella's Grounds. What's Pinella's? Are you in Winchester? Is Pinella's a place in Winchester? Dave. The gangs of Winchester, 100%. Kristen Cinnamon dated Keith Olbermann? Right. I'll wait for a second. So anyway, that's pretty much, it really has been an interesting kind of, we're on the precipice of this being a really busy news cycle, but it's not yet. It's like things are kind of churning, and it's going to get to a feverish, climax at some point. But right now, it's still not. It's just it's moving up. You got they're playing the Trump stuff on Wednesday, the January 6th thing. You got the sham in New York Trump investigation, which is just BS. Pinellas. What is Pinella? Lou Pinella? Pinellas? Oh, God. Pinellas County in Florida. That's what you're saying. I see. Oh, yeah. Jeez. Pinellas County in Florida. So, hey, I see. Oh, Julie and Phil had your back. They got that for you. So, that is interesting. Dave, we got to be in touch with you during the hurricane to see how things are going for you. Get some play-by-play, and then hopefully everything is all right. I like the excitement of a hurricane. I love the crazy, violent weather. I like the idea of tornadoes. We never get anything too cool up here in Massachusetts. Here and there's a tornado. I mean, every 30 years is a notable one. But I'm never around for them, unfortunately. I would like to see one, but I don't want to be destroyed by one. But you know what I mean. Anything like that is anything extreme like that is interesting and fun. So let me just look around and see my notes. I don't really have notes, but I have Alice and I send each other through Twitter kind of what we're going to talk about. Okay, and that brings us back to the ladies, the housewives who wanted to get yelled at and called racist. So that's where we are, guys. By the way, I think that we should do Pinellas. I thought it had to do with the Italian stuff, and I'm thinking Lou Pinella or Pinella's. You live in ground zero of Pinella's, an Italian family, and I thought, where are they? And I don't know. Sometimes my mind isn't fantastic. So I think that we should. There's no reason, as far as I'm concerned, there's no reason why we wouldn't just always do live. Is this on YouTube too? No, this is for Patreon. So I see. So you guys are all Patreon subscribers, so you see this live. I don't see why the Patreon people shouldn't get it live all the time. If you think that that's an added value for you, I guess that maybe it is, maybe it isn't. I guess that we were communicating with each other, which I really like. I really like this chat, and I really like this, reading your notes here. I really like it. I would like to do more back and forth and conversing during the show. Yeah, okay, so Trish says, I love the idea of always live. It's no different for me, I mean, because we're doing live to tape every day. That we almost, I mean, sometimes we'll drop in an interview if we do like a pretty good interview or a bigger interview. And so maybe that would be a difference. But other than that, I'm cool with it. Fortunately or unfortunately, well, I never take out the interruptions anyway. So kids and dogs and chaos can come in here. And that's just about it. But other than that, yeah, I'm cool. All right. So, hey, guys, thank you. I'm going to pitch it to Alice today to go live. By the way, we're working on 2 more shirts. And then I kind of like to get shirts here. And actually, maybe we can do a couple of pen giveaways now that we got the pens from Julie and Phil, which are really cool. But we'll talk about that. I can't play the closing theme song anymore because we're trying to shave the songs off because we don't own those. And everything that we're on seems to penalize us. Like YouTube suspends us or grounds us or Facebook is mad at us and this and that. So if we're going to move over our podcast to this new podcast player where it won't just screw you guys like SoundCloud did, and they've been terrible with Alice. You should see the emails going back and forth. Alice is rip bleep about these guys. So we're going to change. Ryan, thanks for the Donna Brazil help there. Thank you. I needed that. Julie and Phil and Dave and Ryan and Trish and everybody, thank you so much for hanging out on Patreon. If you guys aren't on Patreon, feel free to get on Patreon if you'd like to see the show live when we do it, and some other stuff as well. And we should probably do more. I'm sorry about the Substack. I'm working on the Substack. Actually, Alice was supposed to do the last one, but I can't hit the finishing music. All right. Well, what would you like for sound for the end then? What would you like? How about this right here? Thank you very much for everything. Please do continue to follow us. We love it. I love this back and forth, the input stuff here, doing the Patreon live. I think we should always do it. Have an awesome Monday night, guys. We will see you later. Oh, it didn't work. Hold on. I'm going to do that again. I'm doing it again because I'm a professional. Have an awesome Monday night, guys. We will see you later.
2 more hogs got the fever.
supposed to hit over here, Alice? What is this thing supposed to say? Okay. So stop recording. Recording. Still in there. Stop streaming. Stop recording.